So OKC still about a 6-point favorite on the road. I saw Ben Fox, who writes for Yahoo, talk about how big of a number this is. It's one of the largest road favorites in some time. So at BFox22, the Oklahoma City are currently 6.5-point road favorites in Game 4 at BetMGM. If the line holds, they would be the biggest road favorite in a finals game since 1991. Okay, that's pretty crazy. And if we want to follow it up with your stat, what are the Thunder on the road in the playoffs, ATS?
They are 0-8 against the spread in the playoffs on the road. Not covering games.
So if it's as simple as just betting the first period over and full game over in hockey, maybe it's as simple as just betting the home team here, Indiana. Indiana's been very good. We mentioned, the other day how many times they've won at these big numbers on the money line. OKC doesn't cover on the road or hasn't covered. Is it as simple as just saying, take the points? I don't know. I'm not probably going to touch the side. I think the Thunder win the game. I'm not laying the 6.5. But given that it's the largest road favorite since 91 when the Bulls played the Lakers, Jordan and Magic, and the Thunder can't cover on the road, are we overthinking it or no?
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
I think we're overthinking it a little bit. But also, I'm tempted to say this is either a blowout spot for the Thunder, meaning they blow out the Pacers, or the Pacers win outright. I don't think the Thunder can win a close game. We haven't seen that throughout the playoffs a whole lot. And they're such a young team that you're on the road in a hostile environment, which Indy is crazy. These fans have been starved for a championship for years, haven't been in the finals in 25 years. I mean, I'm not sure the Thunder have what it takes to win close games. And so I would either bet Pacers money line or take some alt lines on the Thunder. And that's a scary proposition because of the stat of they don't cover on the road and haven't been winning on the road, at least, one game in this series. So I'm not going to touch the side either. I could make it. I mean, clearly I could make a case for both sides, and an equally strong one. So that's why I'm just going to stay away from that. The total has ticked up a point, 225.5. Now 226. We had Nick Friedel on yesterday. He said he's leaning towards an over, despite everyone else kind of looking at an under in this game. I kind of lean towards an over too, Sam.
It's come down quite a bit. This will be the lowest total, ideally, in the series. Collectively, if you combine all the games. So right. The last game opened at about 228.5, 229. This one opened 225.5, and it's been bet up. But in terms of where the numbers open, this is the lowest opener of the 4 games, but the market has pushed it up. The market, I think, is also listening to Bet Sweats or Beat the Books, because Isaiah Hartenstein this morning, 6.5 on the point prop. I got a text yesterday. I had a buddy who was driving around listening to the score in Chicago, and he goes, "Bro, are you really betting Hartenstein over 5.5 points, you sicko?" And I said, yeah. It's so wild. If I give somebody SGA over, it's cool. Everything's fine. Yeah, okay. I give you Hartenstein over 5.5. Guy's got a problem. But look at the market. Look at the market today. So if you want to go over 5.5 now, minus 130, minus 138, and MGM, along with a couple other books, are now 6.5. And I know it might not sound like a lot, but if this guy makes 3 dunks and never sees the floor again, he's going to land on 6. And if you went over 5.5, you're going to win. If you go over 6.5, he's going to lose. And I don't think he's going to fly over. I don't think he's going to have 12 points. I think it's going to be close, but I make it 3 shots. I think he's going to make 3 shots, whether it be floaters or dunks or layups or whatever. 3 is enough. But if you're 6.5, now you need 4. And that's a game changer in this racket. 3 baskets is 6, but now if you're 6.5, you need a little bit more. And I don't, as crazy as that might sound to say out loud, I loved 5.5. I don't necessarily love 6.5, if that makes any sense.
Well, maybe you'll love this because I have the props for this game. Most bet props Obi Toppin under 4.5 rebounds is even money. The second most bet the room is loving Isaiah Hartenstein under 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Oh, I mean, his rebounds. 20. He scored 20 tonight.
Yeah, the guy's going off, right? Minus 130 for his under. 9 rebounds in game 1, 8 in game 2. Yeah, he only had 3 in game 3, but he didn't see the floor all that much. This is a Hartenstein game. I think you're onto something.
We have talked mostly about Halliburton props this series, and I have not bet any Hartenstein. I just remember against, the Nuggets and against the Wolves, he's out there playing huge minutes. I'm looking right now at the game log. So against Denver in the semis, he played 29 minutes, 31, 33, 33. He's up there. And the point numbers, 12, 14, 10, 15, 10. So he scored a lot because he played more. In the round against Minnesota conference finals, the minutes started to come down. 20, 27, 19, 16, 17. And the points came down. 12, 6, 6, 2, 8. But still a lot of 6 or higher. In this series, it's been 17 minutes, 22 minutes, 18 minutes, 9, 3, 4 points. I'm just reading you what he's done. But the issue when he doesn't play a lot and doesn't score a lot, the books crash the number, and then the public studies the box scores from the last couple games. Right. So I'm fully aware that he hasn't played enough, but he hasn't played enough, and they're down 2-1. So what does that insinuate? I would think that OKC staff is going to give him more run and just see if he can get going early. And maybe go from there. They've been starting Kayson Wallace, and you can still start Wallace. That's fine. But I think you have to give this kid a chance to get out there and get going because they need that presence around the paint. Chet was not good in the fourth quarter,
no,
as we talked about the other day. Just wasn't good. So I don't know that you have to finish with Hartenstein, but I would just get him out there as early as possible and see what he's got. Because his ass will be motivated, right? He hasn't played. So you think he's going to be out there standing there like a scarecrow or a statue? No, he's going to give you effort tonight because his minutes have been reduced. And this is not a big number. If you listened yesterday and you bet over 5.5, you have a pretty good bet considering where the market's at. I'll probably, just for the sake of the show, I'll probably play over 6.5 because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, cut it at 6. Hearing the room, though, is fading Isaiah Hartenstein makes me giddy on the inside.
The room is also Kayson Wallace under 2.5 rebounds, third most. Lou Dort under 8.5 points, and Benedict Mathurin under 10.5 points. Mathurin had a monster game in game 3. Played 22 minutes, 25, 27 points. I'm not sure that happens again in terms of that big of a scoring. But I don't think you necessarily just go fade Mathurin just because he had a massive game and you think, okay, that's not going to happen again. I mean, with how well he played, maybe he gets an extended run, a couple more minutes. If I had to play anyone, and I think I'm going to play this, is Pascal Siakam over his points prop. So much attention on Halliburton, as it should be, but you saw it in game 3, the Pacers from the jump made a point to get Siakam going. I mean, he scored their first 6 points. The offense was catered towards him early on in that first quarter. And so getting him in rhythm, in the flow of the game early on has been important for this Pacers team. And when he does that, he scores a lot. And he's one of the focal points of that offense. So I like Siakam over his points prop. That's sitting at 19.5 over at BetMGM right now.
Okay. I was looking at the market for how many games will the series end in. And no surprise, game 6, game 7, essentially co-favorites. Mm-hmm. Game 6, even money. Game 7, plus 110. If it ends in 5, 10-1. That'd be something if Indiana won game 4 and game 5. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to bet it, but the market is telling us that OKC is still not only the team to beat, but probably going to win this series. And here we go, minus 200, minus 220, minus 230. even though they've dropped 2 of the first 3, money still believes. The power ratings still believe in OKC. But as we've learned all along, all postseason, the power ratings are not right on Indiana. They keep finding ways to not only cover, but to win as massive dogs in several spots now. I mean, it's happened all postseason. Think about it. Against Cleveland, against the Knicks, against Oklahoma City. They won the first game as about a 10.5-point dog. Now they're a 6-point dog in game number 4 after just winning as a 6-point dog in game 3. So the respect is still not there from a power rating standpoint. And as you know, some people will tell you, games are not played on calculators. Games are not played on spreadsheets. I can't wait to see what we get from Halliburton tonight. And the constant conversation. After a win, he's a top 10 player. After a loss, top 30. It's ridiculous. Like every show you watch, oh, he's not a top 10 guy. Oh, he's a top 10 guy. Oh, not top 10. Oh, now he's top 10 again. I'm getting tired of it, to be honest.